Hello, welcome to this video presentation of Elizabeth Bishop. Elizabeth Bishop was born on February 8, 1911, in Worcester, Massachusetts. From age 3 to 6, she lived with her maternal grandparents in Great Village, Nova Scotia. Following that, she was taken by her father's family in Worcester, Massachusetts. Elizabeth Bishop lived a childhood filled with a sense of loss, and she wasn't happy with living with her father's family whatsoever. After living with her grandparents, she permanently lived with her maternal aunts, and she never saw her mother again. Her mother was placed in a mental hospital, and her mother died after she suffered a nervous breakdown in the mental hospital. And her mother had incurable insanity. Elizabeth's father had died when Elizabeth was 8 months old, and her father died of Bright's disease in 1911. And so her father died before Elizabeth's first birthday. Elizabeth Bishop's education. Bishop studied music in school. That's what interested her, and then later in her higher education she attended medical school, and however she received many further influences to pursue writing poetry. She attended college at Vassar, and she did this due to the help of a librarian she met. She met the poet Marianne Moore, and Moore advised Bishop not to go to medical school, and in fact to go into the line of poetry instead. Elizabeth's childhood influenced the vast majority of her writings. Additionally, Elizabeth Bishop's life. Elizabeth Bishop was independent, and she felt like she did not have to worry about many things. She lived in France after college in the mid-1930s. Elizabeth Bishop was an alcoholic, and being an alcoholic enabled Bishop to let out her innermost feelings and emotions that she had tied to her childhood and to not having a mother really there for her, or a father. And so she felt like drinking was her porthole to letting these emotions out. And she was also very depressed, and she had started drinking at age 20. Elizabeth Bishop could go months without booze, but then when she drank again, she overdosed, overboard. And she drank carelessly, and she in fact drank perfume. And she also suffered paranoia. Elizabeth Bishop's poetry. Elizabeth Bishop began writing poetry at age 8 and continued for the rest of her life. Bishop did not see herself as a lesbian poet or as a female poet. Bishop was in fact lesbian, and she wanted to be looked as based on her writing and not her sexuality. So she didn't want her readers of her poetry and her acquaintances to view her as a poet based on her sexuality or gender, or gender. She was bisexual, in fact, and her poetry changed throughout her life due to all the experiences she endured. And in 1956, Bishop won the Pulitzer Prize. And Bishop's death was a cause of overdose tranquilizers. She had a brain aneurysm on October 6, 1979, and she ended up dying at the age of 68. Thank you for listening.